Align and Awaken with Mother Earth Rising podcast. Let's rise and heal together with me, Pippa, your Mother Earth healer. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back. I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are. Hopefully these lockdown rules will start to ease in England very soon. I am getting very bored of staying indoors all the time. I get out in nature, which is great, but ultimately I just want my life back, as a lot of us do. So I'm sending you loads of love, whatever you're doing today. However you feel today is completely normal. So this episode today is going to be talking about boundaries, but first I want to speak to you about something that happened to me on Sunday. Now, we all know Sunday was Valentine's Day, and for some reason on Sunday, it just really hit me that I'm not with Chris. He's not with me. And it just really hit me in the motion of sadness. And I cried all day, and actually watching The Notebook really didn't help on Sunday morning. So all day Sunday, I felt sad. I was in a low energy, and the difference now is that I allow myself to be sad. The thing with life is we all know that we're having this human experience, but we are spiritual beings, so we can't physically be on a high vibe all the time. We have to experience being a human. And one of those things is sadness. One of those emotions is sadness. And I just cried and I let it out, and it was a sad day, but I didn't let it become a sad week or a sad month. And this is something that I really want to talk about within this podcast today, because a lot of us, especially women, our feminine side, we just want to cry, let it out, and we are emotional at times, but that's completely normal. Like, I don't want my clients, my friends, my family to feel sad and be embarrassed, because a lot of the time it shows strength. You know, it shows strength that you can be that way and you're allowed to be that way. I miss my partner every single day. And Sunday just hit me. Like, Sunday was just a hard day for me. And I let myself just have a complete day for me. And I just forgot that I'd not spent time watching Disney. I'd not done more things of what I love, that I just go into my little cave. And that was fine for the day. And then I knew, and this is such a beautiful way of looking at life, and this is what I do, this is how I see the world. When I'm in a low energy, when I'm in that sad emotion, I know for a fact that that isn't going to last, and that I know a huge shift or a really high vibe day is on its way. And yeah, I was right, because yesterday on the Monday, I was completely high vibed. I was just in a different energy. I was just giddy, happy, back to my usual self. And that's the thing, you know, when we let a sadness emotion carry on and we let it take over, it can turn into a sad week. It can turn into a sad month. But the key word to all of this is allowing yourself, because this is the thing. Sadness is an emotion. Anger is an emotion, but we have to drive forward and move into that frequency of love. And then this spurs me on to talk about boundaries today, because since that low vibe, I tend to have a bit of like, it's like the dust has like kind of settled off, and then a couple of days later I feel it. So the last, say, 3 days, my boundaries have been tested. My boundaries have been, you know, I wouldn't say crossed, but they have been kind of brought up to me. And one thing that I want to remember is that when we're in a low energy, we start to attract a little bit of low energy back. And that's completely normal too. Remember the frequencies, remember the different vibes, remember what level you're at, you know, what kind of radio station do you want to tune into every single day? And if that's a low vibration every single day, you're going to get low vibrational energy, situations, people coming back into your energy space. And that is why I let myself just be sad for that day. I went to bed and I woke up in such a different energy, a different mood, because I said, today's going to be sad, tomorrow's going to be a new day, and tomorrow I'm going to feel amazing. So the thing I want to talk about boundaries is, one of the greatest acts of self-love and self-worth is setting healthy boundaries. A lot of us don't do it, and a lot of us find it hard. So how many of you listening find it hard to say no to your friends? How many of you find it hard to say no to family, no to whoever it is, because we don't want to let that person down? We find it hard to say no. And the thing is, it's our ego that is making us feel that way. So we feel, for example, if I say no to this person, they're going to think X, Y, Z about me. And that, again, is your ego state. That is, again, expecting that they're going to say something about you, that they think you're not worthy, that you're a crap friend, you're a crap partner, whatever it is. And that is actually true. The reason we have to set healthy boundaries is because we ourselves have our own energy to look after. We're all individuals in the way of our own energy, but we are all connected in so many ways. We are connected to every single person on this planet. And again, like, there's going to be different energies that we don't fully align with, and that is normal. So when you're around certain people, you won't click with certain people. Your energy won't match. And that's because the frequencies don't match. You know, you're trying to listen to a radio station and you can't get the radio station on because you're on a different tune. That is the same as energy. And something that I'd like you all to watch, if you can, is The Celestine Prophecy. There's a book, but the actual movie really explains it, about how you can actually, you know, tell it with energy. I've mentioned this before, how when you walk into a room, you can tell if someone's off. You can tell if someone's in a low energy. You can tell if someone's in a mood or in a lower vibration energy to you. And for us, we have to kind of be aware of that and remember that it's not for us to go and help them to come up to high energy. You know, we can shine our light. We can set that bar and we can help them come up to that high energy. We can't do it for them, because you think about you're wandering around in a dark room and you don't know where to go and you just see this flicker of light. You're going to follow that light, aren't you? You're going to follow it. It's like a bug with the lights at night. They're going to follow it. And that is what I want to be for people. That's what I want to be. I can't go over and put the light to them. I'm the lighthouse. I'm the lighthouse and they're ships in the ocean trying to find their way to some light. It's the same with you listening. Any of you who have an inspirational business, you want to inspire people, you want to motivate people, think of it that way. You're a lighthouse. The lighthouse doesn't move in order to find the ships that are lost. It stands there shining bright and the boats find their way to that light. We have to keep shining light and shining light, because when we start to dim our light and we let the boundaries be crossed, that is when, again, we're not shining at our brightest. And it doesn't mean that we're shining brighter than other people and we're better than other people. That is not what it's about. It's about shining bright for those who need to shine a little bit brighter. So remember that when, you know, your boundaries are being tested, that I need to shine bright, I need to serve, I need to be the best version of me, because we're going to help those be that version of them too. It's a really important message this week. I find it really interesting how every week certain messages come up, and it's kind of like the same for clients, it's the same for family, it's the same for friends. And I've obviously been doing a lot of distant Reiki healing sessions, which are phenomenal. And the messages that come through, again, are about boundaries. A lot of the time, people pleasing, not being able to say no. And the thing is, which has been a blessing for so many of us, we've not been able to go out and see our friends. We've had to stay indoors. And that has been a blessing for so many people who find it hard to say no, because you've been given an excuse. But think about when we come out of this lockdown, we go back to normal life. If you don't want to do something, you are allowed to say no. You have to be able to say no and not have to explain why, because you are allowed to have that freedom and choice. Because when we say no, we're saying yes to ourselves. It could be just like a night out, you don't feel like it, and it's completely fine to want to stay in, as long as you're serving yourself and you're not just locking yourself away just because you don't want to go outside. There has to be that level of a boundary for you too. You know, are you not going out because you want to stay and have a bath, watch some movies and pamper yourself? That's serving you. If you don't want to go out because you're scared to go out and you're going to get judged and all these other negative energies, then we have to look at that. We have to look at that and say, well, this isn't serving me. This decision to say no isn't serving me. The no has to serve us. The no has to be for us to say, I'm doing this because I want to fill my cup up today. I've had a really busy week. For example, me, I'm spending every single day doing Reiki clients, and over a weekend, I'm having it off so I can spend time with Chris on Zoom. I can have little date nights with him and switch off, because again, I am such a giver. I want to give as much as I can to people. And a lot of the time I have people reaching out, on DMs, on messages, and I would love to help you 24/7, but there has to be a boundary of, I can reply to you in certain hours in the day, then nighttime I switch off. Because I'm setting an example. If I'm just there 24/7, I'm not allowing people to sit with themselves and grow themselves and look within themselves to grow. I can just be that guiding light. Remember, I'm leading them to the lighthouse. And then when they get to the lighthouse, the path is there for them to take. So I want you to remember that in whatever business or family life or whatever it is that's coming up for you when boundaries are crossed. Yeah, we have to have physical boundaries, but we have energetic boundaries. And anyone who works in really like chaotic, workplaces, NHS, a lot of the time I have clients who work for NHS. I just tell them before they go into work, visualize themselves having a pink aura around them or a white aura around them, which is a protection bubble, and no one can affect you that day. No one can penetrate your boundaries. But at the same time too, if people are triggering you in work, if they're triggering you wherever you are, it's then for you to say, yep, that's a trigger. I'm going to work through that. And that's why boundaries do get crossed a lot, because we don't set them strong enough, and when they do get crossed, it does become a trigger, and we have to work through those triggers. So it does have a ripple effect, it does have purpose, and that's why I said, setting boundaries is great for you to be able to work through those triggers. If you don't have any boundaries and you're getting crossed constantly, them triggers are going to keep getting deeper and deeper until you crack, until you get to a point where you're like, I can't do this anymore, I've had enough. If you're setting boundaries, you're going to get those little triggers every now and then and be able to work through them. And that's what I adore. That's the work I love doing with clients. So I want you to practice setting healthy boundaries, because it is an act of self-love and self-worth. So on other notes, I want to just tell you something really exciting that we haven't announced yet to obviously all of our fans. Chris and I, as you know, is my partner, and we are actually twin flames. And we have such a huge role as a couple. We class ourselves as a power couple. Chris's work that he's doing with conservation and animals is incredible. The work I'm doing to help people heal is incredible. And together we have this huge purpose to shine as a twin flame couple, to help others with divine love, and to help people with enlightenment and healthy relationships and sex positivity. So we want to let you know that next month on the 5th of March, we are actually launching our own podcast together. And this is going to be a podcast for us both, and it's going to be put on YouTube as well. So you've got the podcast to listen to, and you have the video, so you can see us both on video, our energy, the way we are as a couple, and you can get to know us a lot more. So we're just really excited to get this out to the world. We've been working so hard as a couple, especially being separated. He's in New Zealand, I'm in England, and we've had our triggers through relationships, as twin flames do. We are a mirror for each other, but we've had some huge shifts and huge realizations over the past few months since we've been separated. And now we realize why we were separated. So we're going to be doing this podcast together. We're really excited. So I'm going to put the Facebook group in the show notes. If you could join that, you will be in to win a prize. We're actually doing a prize giveaway for our new podcast. So you just need to be in the group. You can check out the posts, just add your friends to the group, engage in the post, subscribe to our new podcast when we launch. We're going to be putting the link out this week. I'm really excited. We are going to be talking everything about sex positivity. We're going to be talking about healthy relationships, personal triggers in relationships, personal triggers in family, your toxic ego work, enlightenment, quantum shifts, and so much more. And we can't wait. We can't wait to bring this to you. So obviously we'll be putting that in the show notes. Join the Facebook group and check, 5th of March we will be launching, and it's going to be called Divine Love, Enlightening Relationships, which it just makes me so happy and so giddy to bring this to you. So again, guys, I'm sending so much love, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. All of my links will be in the show notes as always, and I will chat to some of you soon. Bye for now.